Okay, we're on page 118. This is the second page of the independent practice from lesson 5.2. We are adding, and in some cases even subtracting, um, decimals. We're going to do two questions on this. Well, it's going to end up being three. We're going to do number 31 and 32, and then we will skip the end of the page. Number 31 reads, a CD of classical guitar music contains 5 songs. The length of each song is shown in the table. If you look, you can see that the tracks are 6.5 minutes, 8 minutes, 3 and 93 hundredths, 4 and 1/10, 5 and 5 hundredths. Question A says, between each song is a 0 and 5/100th of a minute break. How long does it take to listen to the CD from the beginning of the first song to the end of the last song? So I want to think about it this way. Track 1 would take this long. And then there's going to be a break of how much between track 1 and track 2. It's going to be, we're going to add in a 0.05. And so we're going to add that in. Then we've got track 2. And then we've got another 0.05. Now the reason why I'm putting in the 0.05s between the songs is because a lot of kids think, well, since there's 5 songs, we need to add 5 0.05s. But we don't, because there's only 4 breaks in between the songs. So we're going to add up all 5 songs plus these 4 breaks, because there's not going to be a 0.05 break after track 5. After track 5 is the end of us timing. So we're going to add up all the highlighted numbers plus all the 0.05s. That's what we're going to do. And what's the fastest way to do that? Well, it's probably just over here in the white space, just line it up. We're going to have 6 and 5/10. We're going to have 8, which is a whole number. If you want to make that a whole number, you can just do that. 3 and 93 hundredths. 4 and 1/10. And 5 and 0.5 hundredths. To make these all the same length, I can annex zeros here. And now I've got my my breaks here. And I want to think about this. If I add up 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, I'd get 20. So I'm just going to add in a 0.20. So that's all my breaks. So I've got my 5 songs, plus I added up all my breaks. And if I add these up, I should get the right answer. So I've got 3 plus 5 is 8. I've got, I'm going to go out of order. I'm not going to do 5 plus 9. I'm going to go 9 plus 1, that's 10. Plus 5 is 15, 17. Carry the 1. And look for numbers to add that would be friendly. I'm probably just going to go in order. 1 plus 6 is 7. Plus 8 is 15. Plus 3 is 18. Plus 4 is 22. Plus 5 is 27. And that is the answer. It's 27 and 78 hundredths. And we need to label it. We are talking about minutes. So we're going to say 28 or 27 and 78 hundredths minutes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and erase this because I'm going to need this right here for my second question. My second question reads, Juan says, what if Juan wants to buy the CD from an internet music store? He downloads the CD onto a disc that can hold up to 60 minutes of music. How many more minutes of music can he still buy after downloading the CD? So if it holds an hour, which is 60, we need to subtract 2778 from it. And this will be a great review on how to subtract with zeros, for a group of zeros. You go all the way to the whole number, and that reduces by 1. All the zeros in the middle become 9s, and the 0 farthest to the right becomes a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 7 is 2. 9 minus 7 is 2. And 5 minus 2 is 3. And that should make a little bit of sense, because if we rounded this up to 28 and we did 60 minus 28, we'd get 32. So that makes sense that it should be 32 and 22 hundredths minutes. All right, let's go check out number 32. And I'm just going to let you know now that we're going to skip both number 33 and we're going to skip number 34, but we are going to do number 32. Number 32 reads, analyze relationships. Use the decimals 2 and 47 hundredths, 9 and 57 hundredths, and 7 and 1/10 to write 2 different addition facts and 2 different subtraction facts. So I'm just going to kind of try and direct you away from what some of the things I've seen in the past. I've seen kids write some silly things before. Like I've seen kids take these numbers and just write, I'm going to go ahead and change it to red. I'm going to write incorrect. I'm going to give you a hint on what how you should be thinking about this. An incorrect way of doing this would be to take these first two numbers, 2.47, and write plus, and write 9.57, and then write equals 7.1. The reason why that's not true is because 2 plus 9 is not 7. 2 plus 9 is 11. So that's just not true. So what you have to do is you have to put them in the correct order. That's all we have to do is take these numbers and write things that are true about them. So one thing that would be true is I notice that if I added up 2 and 7, I would get 9. So I'm going to change the order here. I'm going to write 2.47 plus 7.1 is equal to 9.57. That's true. You can tell that's true because 2 plus 7 is 9. If you add up your 1 plus your 4, that makes 0.5, so it's 0.57. So that's one fact. Now, the only other way to write a second addition fact is to change the order of the add-ins. So instead of writing 2.47 plus 7.1, I'm going to just reverse the order and write 7.1 plus 2.47. And it's going to be the same sum. It's going to be 9.57. So those are my two addition facts. Now I have to write two subtraction facts. And again, you can't just change any old order. You can't just do, well, 7. Let's think about this. If I put 7 first, would it be true 7 minus 2 is equal to 9? No, that's not true. You have to start with your greatest value when it comes to subtraction. And greatest value is 9. So I'm going to write 957 minus 247. I'm just going to round real quick. What would 9 minus 2 be? That'd be 7. So my difference is going to be 7.1. I have to do one more subtraction fact. And you can't just change the order here. A lot of kids will then think you're going to do the same thing here. You're just going to change the order and you're going to do 2 minus 9. And that's just not true. 2 minus 9 isn't going to be 7. You can't do 2 minus 9. So with subtraction, you still have to remain, your biggest value still has to come first. So you're going to do 7 or 957. What can you subtract? You could subtract your answer from before, which is 7.1. And if you just rounded 9 minus 7, that'd be 2. So it's going to be 247. So all I did here, and all they really asked you to do, was to take these three numbers, 247, 957, 7.1, and write two addition and two subtraction facts. If you punched any of these into the calculator, you'd recognize that these are in the correct order. Okay, we are now done with page 118, and you're done with lesson 5.2. So you're ready for the lesson 5.2 checkup and quiz.